I think everyone in snooker admires the total commitment which Steve Davis has retained to snooker. He really does love this game, and he's hungry still for more success. Used a second ball to stop the first one returning towards the balk area as he screwed back.
Yes, we had Steve just before he sat down having a very close look. There may be a plant. Ronnie's looking at it now. I was going to call him Rocket Ronnie, which is his nickname. He certainly started off like a rocket today. There you see it. It's not quite on. And the angle he's approaching it, I think it'd be a very risky shot to try it. Didn't take the risk, and once again, look at the length. This is for a young man who everybody assumed was just a potter. Not so.
Yes, just compare O'Sullivan's quality of safety play at the age of 21 with how another amazing natural talent, Jimmy White, played at that age. He didn't have anything like that safety game on a consistent basis.
Yes, and of course that's why the likes of Jimmy White used to struggle against Steve, because Steve used to tie Jimmy up in knots. Jimmy was okay when he got in amongst the balls, but you have to compete in the safety exchanges. And Ronnie O'Sullivan's certainly doing that. I don't like to say we've got a classic match because it's early doors, but at the moment we've got everything. We've got great potting, great break building, great tactical game. And as David Vine says, the young and up and coming against the Grand Master, shall we call him, enthralling.
Attempted the plant in the end.
One.
Careless positional shot from O'Sullivan. didn't intend to cannon the green.
Five.
Well recovered though.
Six. Thirteen. Fourteen.
Oh, lovely shot that was. When you play a shot like that, it's all about feel. It's not in the
21.
textbook. It's in your head.
22. $29. 30. 37. 38.
'Getting the pink in and back on its spot. Opens
44.
the black for the two corner pockets.
45.
Frame winning chance.
Developing two more reds,
52.
while certain to finish on another.
53. 60.
Well, that's unusual for Ronnie to play a bad positional shot when he's nicely in around the black. He's not home yet in this frame. 60 points in front, but still a possible 83 left on the table. And this is a tricky shot he's playing with the spider.
Yes, it's not just
Extend this
a
back.
question of dabbing in a little straight one.
And this isn't an easy implement to use. Now he's looking at one into the far left corner now because of the awkwardness in queuing. But this isn't easy.
Yes, cue ball and that red so close together that it's very delicate to screw back from it, and also pretty difficult to judge the potting angle.
Of course, I think this is a problem. Ronnie thought this was a frame-winning opportunity, and he still wants it to be one. And he's trying to curb his natural aggression. I think a safety shot has got to be the shot to play here.
60. Ronnie O'Sullivan.
He didn't want to play safe, but in the end he did. And I'm sure that was the wise decision. Why risk throwing away most, or even all, that 60-point lead?
Well, it couldn't have been much closer, and he knows that, but he also knows now that surely that's end of frame.
1.
So the safety shot, as it turned out, was the right shot to play for Ronnie.
Eight. Nine.
So Davis needs a snooker.
16. 17.
And O'Sullivan is going to recapture a 2-frame lead.
23. 24. 31. 32.
Well, speed it up now. John Street
38.
having a job getting
39.
balls on the pockets. But the crowd love it. And don't we all? It's great stuff.
45. 46. 49. 51.
Davis watching this
54.
half century, which was reached in only 2 minutes 5 seconds.
58. 63. 63 in the frame.
What a start. Breaks of 60 and 63, separated by a judicious safety shot, enable Ronnie O'Sullivan to regain a 2-frame lead at 4-2. Break making, of course, O'Sullivan's forte. There we see his match statistics, the 2 centuries with which he opened this contest, 116 and 113, a couple of half centuries, a couple of 30s, but as we've seen, a much more mature tactical player than he was a year or so ago.
Well, if you were with us earlier this afternoon, we just touched on in the commentary previous meetings between these two. There have just been 3 of them, in fact. There they are, Ronnie O'Sullivan winning in that famous quarter-final of 93 in the UK, when, of course, he went on to win the title, beating Stephen Hendry, creating that youngest winner. And also beat him in the 93 European Open quarter-final. There's the win, though, of Steve Davis, and the last time they played, and that was in the Irish Masters, a quarter-final 5-2. And in fact, they played quite a few times in the European League, and they played 4 times there, and Davis has beaten Ronnie 3-1. What do we read into that, Dennis? I mean, they're conscious of when they played against each other, obviously.
Well, I think you read into it the fact that Steve Davis is, as we keep saying, such a good tactical player, and he can upset Ronnie's rhythm. But when Ronnie starts playing like that, you can't do anything about it. So it's just fascinating stuff to watch, because you don't know what's going to happen the next frame.
You're actually saying John Street was in training there to be a bingo caller, wasn't he?
Well, when Ronnie starts playing like that, you'd think you were listening to a bingo caller, yeah.
I mean, it is amazing so the way he can put those shots together. And he suddenly seems, he has a little patch here and there where he thinks about it, and suddenly he thinks, this is it, I'm going. And he just turns it on.
And at times, you know, you talk about stance in the game. Ronnie falls at the table sometimes, and he just plays the shot, and he's not stood proper. He's just such a natural.
4-2. And brilliant snooker. And so much to sort of watch and think about in the changing pattern. We said when they came together, would it be a dream final? Well, it's reality. My goodness, it's great Sunday afternoon entertainment. Hope you agree with me.
Oh, 4. Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Having gone in off, Davis would have much preferred
Thank
it
you, gentlemen.
if the red had also dropped in, instead of giving O'Sullivan such an easy starter.
1. Eight. Nine.
It was funny there.
16.
Just before he played the red before the black, he wasn't certain what he was going to play, but never got up. Played it quick.
16, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
A little bit of lack of concentration there. And if he's covered this red, he's very fortunate.
And a miss, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Swerving the cue ball. Davis was afraid, I think, of overdoing it. And in the end, underdid the swerve. Didn't strike the red.
1.
Before that, this young man, I said, that was audacious. He had a loose red, which 99% of the players
7.
would have played for. And well, it was such a brilliant shot coming off 3 cushion, opened up the reds. Anything could happen now.
$12. 13.
Didn't get through off the second and third balls as he wanted.
Well, that's the problem with playing quick. I think he played the wrong red. I think he should have played the other red. He was certainly getting position. He could have left that awkward
13,
red running into
Ronnie
the balls
O'Sullivan.
till later. So that speed, even though it's nice to watch, can just catch himself out occasionally.
One.
I didn't play that too well, Steve, and he Needs a good pot now.
Six.
The problem you see, when the pot is difficult, you err on the side of safety as well, and that's when you run out of position. So just a little trickle up behind the yellow.
6. Steve Davis.
Davis competing very keenly, but it is noticeable that he's only made one break over 30. That's the 46 with which he clinched the third frame. O'Sullivan's scoring much more heavily when he gets in.
Sorry, Steve. Yeah, that close.
Well, Steve having a close look. The referee hasn't given a touching ball. I know Steve would like it to be one, and he's still not sure.
It is, yeah. Yeah. It was a second ago, I can promise you. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, in the end, the referee, John Street, agreed with Steve Davis. Now, two explanations are possible. Either he was wrong in the first place, or the cue ball has just rocked back into the red.
Anyway, whatever, it makes it easier to get safe. He's looking for a spot behind that yellow again.
Clocks and watches, we are staying with our live coverage of this Benson Hedges Masters final from Wembley, which means that Ski Sunday will follow this programme.
Well, Davis played such a good safety from his last shot, but I wonder what all the fuss was about the touching ball.
One.
Yes, I think he just wanted that option, Clive, if he needed the touching ball. And then the more he thought about it, it was a chance to bring a few reds out in the open. But as you say, it was a good safety. He judged it well behind the yellow. Now what can he make of this chance? He may, in potting this blue, just be able to cannon into those three reds just to the left of the black. It would help to bring them into play. Now, how was it finished? Finished well.
6.
Choice of two easy reds.
Yes, he'll have to play for the pink or blue. The black isn't available at the moment. Wouldn't be such a bad thing to get the pink on its spot.
7.
That's okay. playing for the red below the pink spot. Will clear the black for the left corner.
13.
So apart from that one awkward red near the left-hand cushion, this is an excellent chance now.
$14. $20. $21.
Well, I'm sure Steve's there. Would have liked to have been on the black. Maybe didn't have the angle on the red. If he clears the black, it makes the two reds easily available. But as I say, the open reds aren't going to be the
27.
problem. He's going to need that red near the left-hand cushion.
$28.
So now he can get the black on the spot.
$35. $36.
Didn't play it well. It looks straightforward, that shot, but it isn't. You're stunning across the table, and depending how much stun you get on it, whether you take the pace out of the cue ball, and it's just gone slightly wrong. You should still pot it and play for the red into the same pocket as the black. I fancy him potting it as long as he's not using the rest. If he's using the rest, then it's a more difficult shot. Pink's not really a good shot to get position on a red. Looks at the scoreboard, he's 5 points in front. I think he's got to stretch for the black here. That red just to the left of the black will pass the black when it's respotted for the right corner. But he doesn't think he can reach it. And he knows if he can't reach it and has to play it with the rest, then it's a lot more difficult shot. Well, that was absolutely brilliant. You've got to admire the way he
42.
responded in this match after the barrage he suffered in the first two frames. Now, important, he gets a good angle off this red on the black to disturb
43.
that awkward red.
Just a reminder that we are staying with the snooker here at Wembley, and Ski Sunday will follow later.
Wanted the cue ball
50.
on the side cushion to attempt the red to the corner. I'd be surprised if he attempted it from this angle.
$50. Steve Davis.
Well, that was a good shot from Ronnie. He had a very close look. If Steve can just get past the black and hit the red thin, he'll be okay. And obviously he can.
Didn't mean the red to cannon the pink.
Yes, and the fact that when Ronnie was walking back to his seat, he apologised to Steve. So Steve obviously can't get through to this red, and there you see it. But I'm sure he'll try the pot, coming off the right-hand cushion first. Forced into it.
One.
Unlucky anywhere but there. So 20
Touching
points
ball,
in front.
nominate.
Touching the blue. If he potted the pink, which is a tough shot, he'd still need the awkward yellow. Of course, what he could do
Pink ball.
is put the pink safe as a bit of insurance should Ronnie O'Sullivan get a chance.
Blue ball.
I think Steve actually did say pink, but he meant to say blue. Touching, of course, just fire away. As I say, it might be a good idea just to put the pink safe. He's nominated blue, but he's deemed to have hit it firing away.
Okay. Pink ball.
Pink. Well, if he's nominated pink, maybe he's going for the pot. You see, the problem is for Steve, I think what he's thinking, if he's trying to send the pink round the angles into a safe position, if it did go in, by nominating pink, he'd get 6 points. If he nominates blue and the pink goes in, then it would be a foul shot. If you can understand that, it's pretty simple, really. That was the reason, because if the pink had gone in the middle, he'd have got 6 points. But if it had nominated blue and the pink had gone in, then it'd have been a foul. Well, Ronnie swerved, but he's not left anything easy for Steve. Steve needs the yellow and green. Does he fully commit on this yellow? Be a brave shot if he did.
It would be asking for trouble to play this shot slowly from this distance against the nap. And the bed of the table is pretty swift.
I mean, if we look at the situation of the table, Clive, even though Steve's 20 points in front, if Ronnie O'Sullivan got a chance, you'd think he'd be favourite to take the frame, so big shot this.
played it as slowly as he dared, but it was a tough shot, that.
Overhit this. Ooh, it's all right, just.
Didn't play the pot there, was always cutting the yellow to safety.
Now, is he going to run near the cushion? Just enough, I think. Could be cut in this, but I don't think it's a shot you'd want to play. A shot to me that was completely out of character for Steve to attempt. He went for it, and what a fluke. And surely, with only the green required, it's won him this frame.
Five. Steve Davis.
But not before. He'd gone 25 in front with 22 on the table.
Four.
So he's shown us a lot today, Ronnie. Break building, great potting, good safety. What can he do now? He needs a snooker.
Four, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
didn't risk cutting that blue thin at speed for fear of the in-off.
Just having to swerve this slightly with right hand side. Terrific shot. And it's not going to be that easy to hit this. I don't think there's a straightforward angle, so there you go. Potting, break, building, safety. And when it comes to getting snookers, he gets full marks for that one.
A combination of black and middle pocket in the way from the right hand side of the table.
Well, 5, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
So O'Sullivan back in the frame. Only 16 in front now, Davis. 18 on the table. Three times Davis has been 2 frames behind. Twice he's reduced the deficit to a single frame, and looked like doing so for a third time when O'Sullivan needed a snooker. But you can't be certain about that now.
Yes, and he'll kick himself, Steve Davis, if he loses this, because he fluked the yellow, he potted the green, he had an easy brown, and he didn't pot the brown. I'm sure if he'd have potted the brown, Ronnie would have conceded. But he missed the brown, and now a lot of pressure on this safety. This is going to need a good shot. Well, he's lucky. Double kiss. It's not got him out of the woods, but at least it's safe. And that's the main thing at the moment. Oh, but this is another terrific shot from Ronnie. Steve can get through to hit the blue, but Ronnie's put him in all kinds of trouble yet again.
The double kiss again.
Yeah, cue ball or the blue? Blue, yeah.
And this time not such a favourable outcome.
Quiet, please.
A crowd disturbance, or at least one member of the crowd. I can't help you with any details. Well, maybe
Frame conceded.
the disturbance
Frame.
made that vital blue just a little bit more difficult. So Davis wins the frame after all. He still trails though by 4 frames to 3.
And that's brought us up to the end of our live afternoon here at Wembley. It looks like an intriguing night ahead of us. 12 more frames to play. We're live all the way from 7:30. Had it all, haven't we? 2 centuries in the opening frames, a streaker. See if I can get the producer to invite her in here after the watershed. Whatever happens, live to the finish, 7:30.